Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let me see. I- Okay. Good morning, everybody. Today we are talking about a global tea talk, and this tea talk we're gonna be do 2 times in a month, and we have like always new guest in our streams. I hope this Zoom is go live on Facebook and YouTube. Today, our guest is like a Sandra Valks. She born and raised in Canada. She is very compassionate to straight talks. That word like really inspire me and bring me to interview her. And when we are saying like it's a straight talk, like lots of time we talk to too much or too many people, but straight talk to understand in my words, talk yourself first and then go around. I really like it. Like today we're gonna find about with Sandra. Sandra, you born here. First thing is welcome. You get the invitation and come on my call. And the second thing, you born and raised here. I'm just migrated in Canada. Let me ask you the first thing, how your life in childhood life to adulthood life, how you go with this journey?
Thank you. It's so great to be here, KUlwinder. Yes, I'm in Belleville, Ontario, Canada. And I was born here in the Belleville Hospital, but I grew up maybe half hour north of the city out in the country on a farm. And I went to the little one-room country school, the same one that my dad went to.
Wow.
So I'm old, so I've got a lot of history.
We can captain this history in a series, don't worry.
But that little one-room country school was magical in my life. It really was, because we had a community of maybe 25, 30 families. And even though I had my own actual family, the whole community was like a family as well. So I was very blessed that we were progressive, actually, and nothing happened in the community unless the children were on stage. And that's been a big part of me being able to recognize community. And when we have community and we all support each other, that is huge in making sure that you stand up and be counted.
Right. This is like also, Sandra, I'm thinking like mostly today's world, people forgetting about a community, forgetting about others, even like sometimes saying like forgetting about themselves because they're running for more, but they forget who they are, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, same thing is my philosophy. First, like you, and then like people surround you. That's your home. And then when you step out, your neighbors and you are end up in the community, society. Why they can pressure you? You have to go through with that connection and love and compassion. But what people doing? They are forgetting that.
And it's too bad, you know. We are running around, we're in a society where we run around and chase. And I'm sure you were there, and I certainly was there, you know, there came that time, well, if I'm going through, I have to be a teacher. My sister was the nurse, and that was our choices at the time. If you were going to be professional, well, then you'd be a teacher or a nurse.
Right.
If you only went to grade 12, and then you went to secretarial school, well, that was just not okay. So it was very clear. I had no idea about occupations that could be out there. But no matter who we are, if we keep our mind open and we stay in community, so that doesn't mean we stay just in our own neighborhood. Community is about connection.
Right.
So we have our immediate family, and even within our immediate family, we can say, oh, well, we know them. We don't really know them. I know over the years, my sister and I would have some great talks when we don't go out walking. We'd go out for a 10-minute walk and come back 2 hours later because we'd gotten into very deep conversation. And we would be saying, oh, but Jack, our oldest brother, he never knew about that. Or no, that's not what Carl said he experienced, you know. So each one of us within the family experienced that family in a different way. And we tend to
Right.
toss people off to the side. Oh yeah, I know you. I know you. I know you. No, you don't know me. That's the big
Right.
thing. And then we move from just the family out into the community. And no matter where we are, we need to build community around us. Because
Right.
if I fall down outside here on the ice, I'm hoping somebody will come and pick me up if I'm having trouble. And I would be able to just call across the street or call to whoever I saw. That's community.
Right. Yeah, I'm agree 100%. Even like I can say when we are growing in a village, like a whole village think you are their daughter. And we felt like that's our auntie, uncles all around, like a same thing in the back homes. But now that like a dramatic drama, like people are forgetting that party. Even like when we are saying immediate family, even how many people they connect with their family, they always have a fear creation from parents. They never connect. Communication is very important. Like when we are saying a family, lots of people, like even sometimes they ask me a question, why did you always like going to a family events and stuff, you don't have a vacation things? I said I felt when I left, like lock my door and go to my mom's house, I feel it's a vacation. I don't feel like any difference. Like I enjoy, I go with my friends, I feel like this is a vacation. But getting a connection and count on each other, that's like the big thing. Like
It is. It is. I don't know if everybody goes through that or not, because, you know, we like to throw labels on things. So then I can say, oh, I think it was my generation. I think it was society at the time. I think it was my ethnic background. I think it was my color of my skin. I think it was blah, 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 blah. And we start running into all these labels that once we get past all the labels, I find more and more that we have that common thread of just plain humanity. So we have a struggle within our family structure. That's mom and that's dad. That's dad, the provider and the kind of the my way or the highway word. And then mother's supposed to love us and cook and put the food on the table and put the clothes and blah, 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 blah. We forget that mother also is a woman.
Right.
And as a woman, I remember seeing her beautiful artwork, and then she got too busy being on the farm and working out on the farm and keeping the house and raising the kids and doing her hairdressing. And, you know, we could go on and on and on. And somehow she lost going back to just drawing, because her artwork was beautiful when we found it.
Right.
And the challenge is, no matter how busy she was, she could have, and she didn't. She gave up that piece of herself, but she could have, in all honesty, kept a sketchbook and kept doing her drawing, even when you're busy, because her drawing would have been what we would do today for journaling. It would have been her meditation time. So we make choices, and today we still make choices. So we decide, oh, I better chase that piece of paper and get that certificate because they, whoever they are, expect it.
Yes. Yeah, I'm
today we still live on other people's expectations. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no, 100% agree. Because, you know, like we always correcting others, like certification, education, guiding. But like sometimes, like I'm saying, like just even like 1 minute, pause yourself and think about what are you telling you are doing. Like it doesn't matter how many figures you go, like people are counting material things. How much love, compassion, and continuously doing things and finding yourself, that piece is like we are lost as a human. Like even when you are bringing a humanity, sometimes I'm saying like Sikh religion is not like a very old religion, it's 500 plus years, right? Our first guru, what he teach, he said like, we are not a Sikh, Muslim, Isai, whatever you're gonna say. First, we are a human. Find your humanity. But like that piece, people, we are not finding. We just reading and leave it. And bringing in a practice. This is like the big thing. Like if we are saying it's a big thing, everybody have a heart. Every heart want a desires.
That's right.
Right.
We were made for desire, you know. And
Yeah,
it's
but
never
like,
going to end. It's important to understand it's never going to end, because
yeah,
that's what humanity is about.
yeah, and
I
even
mean,
like
we all
when
know if
you,
we get that new car and it has that new car smell, we're all excited about that for all of one day. Maybe it'll last for a whole week, and then we're busy. So we busted ourselves to go and get that new car. And what
right,
does it do? It gets us from point A to point B, that our
mm-hmm,
old car probably was also getting us point A to B, unless it was actually worn out. Or did we just want the nice shiny new car and now we're going to sell our soul to be able to get it?
right,
So I think we have to experience all those sales of our soul to
right,
understand that's not really what I wanted. So as we
mm-hmm,
go, if I look backwards, I can
right,
say, yeah, I was there. I was there. You know, we're all there. We're all there at
right.
something. And that's where the forgiveness and the acceptance and the understanding comes in, because we're all the same.
Right. Even like when you bring a point for labeling, myself, sometimes I'm saying, like, who decide women have to like have a kids, they have to do a housework, they can do other things. But even like today's world, women do everything. Why she's always have to do a house chores by herself, not like man can do it. Right? Lots of families, they are challenging this thing, like they're thinking this is a woman's job. Who tells you? You are
That's
eating,
right.
right? You
That's
are
right. I had a young man I was talking to recently, and they were going through some marriage difficulty. And I don't think the marriage survived, but as what was coming out of his mouth naturally, it was just flowing out of his mouth. And when something's flowing out, that's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, women are so confusing. I don't know, like she has the house, she keeps the house, you know, and it's not that he's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's flowing out of the mouth because he's doing what the male is supposed to do and expecting the female to do what she is supposedly supposed to do. And I said, okay, let's just do this little exercise.
Right.
Now, just close your eyes and imagine she's making more money than you are. She is the main breadwinner for the house. You are the house husband. Now just stop and think about that, feel it, sit into it. And I said, how happy are you there? He says, oh, but I couldn't get to do all these things I'm doing. Yes, but you've got the house, you can keep the house clean, you can raise the children, you can make sure they're cooked for, and you've got lots to keep you busy. You should be happy because she's really working hard. She's working hard out there to bring in the money to do this for you. And then the lights start going on. So see, so much of it is, it's that way for us because we're allowing it. It's that way for us in many parts of the world because the men are, I mean, we can think of the countries where the women are not allowed to be in school now, and it just breaks my heart. And why are they not allowed? Because of fear of death. Well, you want to be careful about that. So I'm not saying, but even within that, I know that those women are finding ways to sneak into their education and get it because it's chewing on them that they need to be able to stand up for a woman. And so I think where we're free, have that obligation, that duty to stand up and be who we can be. Now, that doesn't mean rushing out and doing what the men do makes it okay. So just close your eyes again and think, if your responsibility is all on your shoulders, you go out and you do what somebody else is demanding of you, because probably 90% of the men who are out there earning their income are being managed and told what to do and doing repetitive tasks. They're not getting to think for themselves either. You know, so there's a slavery in both genders. And that's important to know. But that doesn't mean that we can't stand in to our own being. And so if you choose to be in the home and be the mom, that's honorable. Stand and claim it, but know that that's what you're claiming.
If like in from that, what age do you think like the child can define I can stand by my own? What range like they can understand I can be tell them like I need to this, do this, or I
To
need
the
to,
children?
yeah.
I'm having to think back a long way back to my children.
Mhm.
And then I taught school for 4 years as well,
Right.
early on. And I think because I was just always an independent thinker, and I didn't think about, growing up on the farm is a very
Mhm.
powerful space. First off, you feel less than the smart kids in town. You
Mhm.
feel less than, because they seem to be street savvy, they know all the stuff, they have blah 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 blah. And while you're growing up on the farm, you don't recognize that. You just think, well, I'm just the farmer's daughter.
Mhm.
What we grew up and learned on the farm was the
Mhm.
girls had to go out and milk the cows, and the girls had to go and
Right.
round up the pigs, same as the boys. The farm
Mhm.
didn't care whether we were boys or girls. So I think there's great value in there. We had to go weed
Right.
the gardens, we had to do whatever. So
Mhm.
girls and boys. Now, however, when dad was helping a cow have her calf, we girls were not allowed in there. That's not something girls should see. Like, where would that come from? We have the babies. Of course we should
Right.
see it.
Yeah.
But the boys were
Yeah.
taken in to help pull the calf out of the cow.
Right.
Now,
That's
how wonky is that? So it really, all of our life decisions are really here in our head. And so
Mhm.
we have to start to say, why am I doing this? Where's that coming from? Oh, because dad said, or my husband said, or the boss said, or, oh, what did they say exactly? Why am I responding this way? Like, so if I'm in a job working, do more than your job, fill it up fuller till you
Mhm.
can't even fit in that job anymore. You're going to go up.
Mhm. I can get like that point even like the other way around. Even like the when you become a teachers or like with the education, or if like you come a doctor, like woman is a doctor, then feel shame. But like if you're talking to general woman or your daughter or wife, you're feeling shame. I don't know why. Right?
I get that. And again, with all these decades, so I can look back at them, I had that as well. I mean, none of us were enough. And when we go
Mhm.
back to when was that, and when was that, and when was that, that's the heavy work we go down inside. And
Mhm.
when we get to the back and back and back and back and back, we will
Mhm.
arrive in our childhood.
Mhm.
We will arrive. We made those decisions that we are not enough as a little child.
Right.
And then here we are as adults living by that child's decision.
Mhm.
This is big. This is big. We made that interpretation. So when I was little, I was the baby of the family on the farm. Well, the excitement was they were going to take the cows around to the island, which was going to be a whole day's trek up the hill, take the horse and wagon, and I think it was still horse and wagon at that time. And it was going to be a long day, and they got to pack their lunches and and I was too little. I wasn't allowed to go. I was always too little,
Oh.
you see. So as I was too little, who did I
Mhm.
become as an adult? I'm small, you see. And you can see today, I'm such a mouse, and I just love to be out with people, and I am a leader. But I had
Mhm.
to eventually claim it, but I couldn't claim that till I went back to say, where did that come? People keep telling me that because I keep accepting it, because it's something I decided
Mhm.
when I got told it as a child, and I believed it, and it was a way for me to be safe. Well, then it
Right.
became a way, well, I'm just little, so I can't do it, so you guys do it. It became a way I could manipulate getting my way of things done. We really have to get honest with ourselves. So if there's a
Right.
burning desire and you're ready to stand up,
Mhm.
that burning desire will take you back in that journey inside,
Right.
and you will root that out and bless that lovely little child inside that used what the child knew to protect you.
Right.
And then you can say, okay, you were a beautiful child. You did that. Come on with me. Now I'm going to take you on some adventures. And that adventure is going to be building my own business or getting out and having a job that I want to do. And those jobs will change. They change and they change. So I started out as a school teacher. Then I waitressed for 6 years because we lived in Europe for 3.5 years with military posting. I raised the babies there and came back, and I waitressed for 6 years. And people would say, Sandra, why are you waitressing? You're a teacher. Like, well, there's no teaching jobs to be had. And then I got into the insurance business. From the insurance business, I added all of the rest of the financial stuff with the investments. And now I'm 40 years in that. I decided I needed to experiment. So I went and joined Toastmasters. Now that's 30 years ago. So of course, but I was 5 years old singing on stage.
Right.
You see, if I go back and celebrate all these little things that have happened, every one of you have had those little celebrations. Now you go back and it's up to yourself individually to pull out those celebrations and pull out those pains and go back and love that little child and now grow into claiming yourself.
Right. You know, like when I'm feeling like you are a younger in a family, I'm an older sibling in a family, both sides. It's like also in my stage or my feeling, I'm feeling I'm responsible for everything. But the day is sometimes I'm saying like, why I? But when we are talking about I messages, sometimes you don't I inside, but you I always responsible. Right? But like which one is like is easy? I think like I'm thinking myself I done like a lot. If like I'm seeing like listening your piece is like more heavier than me now I'm finding. But it's like a thing in a balance. Like sometimes I'm saying who's responsible for this balance? Because our guidance, our coaching as a family, like our parents, teachers, they don't think like this way. Like everybody, like maybe doesn't matter what level they are, they have a feelings. They don't catch their feelings, then that feelings like going like compress until they burn out. Then you are saying like I don't care. Now even like if we are saying like today's world, like now young children, sometimes like as a growing women, we are saying they are too mouthy. Sometimes I'm saying like when I see I have a 13-year-old, sometimes I felt like that my other kids never do that. Like when like she have every answer for every question, and she asks you a question like very confident, like look like she knows everything. Sometimes like I little like quiet, then I'm saying like, oh my God, world change. Sometimes I'm saying like she find her voice very quickly. I don't know how to claim and merge these things.
I would say first off, she's teaching you.
Lot.
And underneath all of that, I think the young people are also very lost in so many ways. So it comes back to just watching. You know, if you're training a puppy dog, I took my puppy dog for classes for training years ago. And they said, well, you know, really, if you watch what we're doing, we're really training you as the owner of the dog.
All right.
Training you, not the dog.
Right.
We need our own training. So as the child is coming up with knowing all this stuff, I know I did have the blessing of my Ethiopian family. Their little girl was 5 years old when she arrived, and I've been their mom for 17 years now. So she's been in my life all this time. So, and she was just this spunky little kid, and she still is, but she just knows everything. And I said, how did you get to know all that stuff? Like, wow, I'm impressed. And, you know, so celebrating what they really know. And then, but how do you feel about this or this or this? Well, Aseganet has really, she's a very deep child too. And I think all of the children could be, because we go from all this stuff that they know. How did you get into it? So you start asking the questions and exploring, and go inside with where she's at and say, you know, and share like, well, I had to do it this way and this way and this way. And the feelings that were there was, how am I ever going to get out?
Mhm.
So I'm looking to you to show me how you're going to get out, but we still have to be safe. We still want to be polite. We still want to be
Yeah.
acceptable. So there's a lovely blend and balance
Yeah.
of celebration that
Right.
allows, because I laugh at Saganette and I says, oh my goodness, you just had to watch, because when you'd come to the house,
Mhm.
anything she'd pick up, and if it was plastic, well, we have lots of plastic and plastic breaks, but she expected it to be invincible, so she was always breaking stuff, always breaking stuff. I said,
Right.
oh yeah, just leave it to Saganette, let her walk in, it'll all be done, it'll clean it out in a hurry.
All right. Thank you for sharing your anything. And like when it's like a time came, you find your C's, how they help you and how they can help, like when you are coaching and guiding other people. Like when you find that 3 C's.
Well, the 3 C's, we better say what those are, I guess. That is clarity,
Mhm.
confidence, and connection. Connection is like community. So
Mhm.
there's always 3 C's. I'm sure there are some more as well, like courage, because that's come up as
Yeah.
well. You don't just go out and find them.
Mhm.
As I look back, I can see how each one grew. As
Mhm.
I had something that I really wanted to do. I mean, I love to sing. No matter where I go, if there's music, I'll probably be up on stage with them. Or I'll be up there, doing, but
Yeah.
more often than not, no matter where I travel, I go up on stage and I get a couple songs in. So I'm an
Right.
international singer, if you put it that way.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and if that's just who I am, but that's the passion. So when you've got a passion, you'll find your way.
Mhm.
And I remember even when I was waitressing, I was the singing waitress for that particular restaurant.
Mhm.
And a fellow in the audience, and one of the tables I was waitressing and serving, he said, when you really get into feeling that music, you're going to deliver the message out to the audience.
Right.
There I was, a young mom. I was probably 33, 34.
Mhm.
And I still was not communicating with the audience.
All right.
Now, if I open my mouth, it's with the audience. So it takes time to get over yourself,
Right.
but you actually have to recognize that. And then I had to understand, when I sing, I have a message I'm sharing,
Mhm.
but I was too shy, or I was too quiet, or I was worrying about expectations, or how is this going to, and I can't boast. Another thing, you can't boast. So
Mhm.
how do you build yourself up if you're not allowed to praise yourself, kind of thing? It is really a tough thing.
Mhm.
So clarity and confidence, connection and courage, all of those things come piece by piece over time.
Mhm.
But it's each time one little decision, and you practice that for a month.
Mhm.
And that, it'll be just who you are now. Well, now I want a little more of that. So you'll step it up, and you'll step it up, and you'll step it up. So if you want to go out to work, go out to work. But you
Mhm.
have to make the decision, and you just have to state it
All right.
and do it.
Thank you very much. Today's like our global tea talk, like with Sandra Valks. You guys like see it now live, or you're gonna watch after on YouTube. You can find my YouTube channel under my name, KUlwinder Samra. And you heard from Sandra, the last talk, like she's telling us like a clarity. First, like if we are not clear ourselves, how we can create a confidence. The first thing, find with her like a clarity and confidence yourself, you can do it. Anybody can do anything. And when we are like doing this like continuously, then we can create a community, people around us, whatever they are doing, or whatever we are doing, we need to blend with each other. We need each other. That's why this world gonna be get look like beautiful world. And if anybody want us like to global tea talk interview, you can contact me. And as a KUlwinder Samra, you can find me on Google too, and you can message me. And my number is 416-520-4001. Sandra, for until next series, how people can find you and connect you for any services or any guidance they need, how they can find you.
Well, we have link.sandravalks.ca, which will link you through to my webpage. And the real easy way is just on Facebook. If you just look up Sandra Valks, I'm the only pink-haired wonder, and it's an unusual name, so I'm easy to find there.
All right. Okay. Anybody want to connect with us? You can even message me. I can connect you with on her Facebook page. It's same. Her name is Sandra Walk, she said, or you can find her sandrawalks.ca. This is our first episode. Maybe a couple more I bring with her, Sandra, because she's very compassionate, to build a community. Born and raised in Canada, and she's working with so many countries, guiding a women's, men's, where we need a guidance. That's our today's episode. I hope see you soon and have a until next time blessed and happy day. Thank you very much for everyone. Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you.